yes, to Halloween Freyon, and welcome to yet another video. Oh, this is the video review for Obi-Wan Kenobi, Episode 3. And yes, they have finally done it, my friends. They have messed up big time. They have got worse than they did with The Last Jedi. And I thought they can't mess up more than with The Last Jedi. Not even Last Skywalker was as bad as The Last Jedi, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is, and not because of what the media are telling you, not because of what Disney is telling you, their constructed reasons. No, it is very simple. It is very badly written. Not only does it retcon and destroy and deconstruct their own canon, Disney canon, but also there are gigantic plot holes within the individual episodes themselves. Now, I don't think that any sane person in the universe cares about spoilers from Obi-Wan Kenobi, but if you do, leave this video, go watch it, I suppose, and come back, because there are going to be spoilers here. Now, I will point out the biggest gripes I've got with this. I will not go into detail much. I will just talk about the biggest mistakes they did. And of course, the show is full of mistakes. This video would have to be about 2 to 3 hours long if I had to really analyze the episode and what the wrong things were. So first and foremost, I'm going to focus on the bad writing within the individual episodes themselves. It's very lazily written. Everybody just seems to appear out of nowhere, and people are behaving in very illogical ways. Just take into consideration one scene, the fight between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. And by the way, the action scenes, there were better action scenes in the latest season of Stranger Things than in a Star Wars TV show, than in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, who did the choreography for this show? It certainly wasn't the bloke who did the choreography for the prequel trilogy. The lightsaber fights are absolutely horrible. It looks as if, once again, it was performed by a bunch of chimps. Now, I will feel sorry for chimps very soon. I will be comparing them to this show a lot. But the sword fight, the lightsaber fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and it wasn't really a lightsaber fight, was it? Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't want to draw or activate his lightsaber. He ran away. He always ran away. And this is another matter. So he ran away. And then he decided to ignite his saber. Then they fought with the lightsabers for a little bit. Then Darth Vader started force choking Obi-Wan, and then he threw him in the fire. And then, of course, Obi-Wan was saved by this rebel woman. And Darth Vader just stood there, and he did nothing. He let the loaded droid, or whatever it was, carry Obi-Wan Kenobi away. And that happens all the time. Characters are just standing there and waiting for some character, either Obi-Wan or another protagonist like Leia, just escape. At the beginning of the first episode, there were the Inquisitors on Tatooine, and they were chasing the random Jedi in one of the pubs or saloons. And he threw, using the Force, like a balcony, a cloth balcony in front of them, in their way. Couldn't they just walk around? Couldn't they just walk around and catch the bloody Jedi? No. This is absolutely tremendously ridiculous. And of course, everybody arrives out of nowhere. I mentioned that as well. No, it's in a matter of seconds. In the good Star Wars films, you can always see like a ship arriving or somebody chasing somebody. You've got a scene from the space, and for example, Darth Vader looking out of the window, speaking with some of the Imperial officers, talking about, that they have to apprehend somebody, and then, arriving, catching somebody, not catching somebody, doesn't matter. The arrival scenes in Star Wars movies are one of the best arrival scenes ever. When the Emperor arrives to the Death Star, when Darth Vader arrives to the Death Star. No, it's just people are basically teleporting everywhere. I don't know if they wanted to make Star Wars or Star Trek. Not really sure. The other thing is that, and it's a huge plot hole that concerns Reva and Darth Vader and Obi-Wan and Bail Organa. So Reva knew that Bail Organa was in contact with Obi-Wan Kenobi, so she had Leia kidnapped so that Bail Organa calls Obi-Wan Kenobi to, and ask him to save Leia. So Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine, and so Reva can catch him. Alright. If Reva knew it, the third sister, one of the lesser Imperial workers, and the Force user, how come Darth Vader didn't know about it? How come the Emperor didn't know about it? If Reva knew, Vader and the Emperor must have known for sure. Why didn't they capture Bail Organa and torture the information out of him? Because he obviously knew where Obi-Wan was. He knew the exact bloody location of Obi-Wan's hideout. After all, he went and visited him very uncarefully. So Bail Organa, the great senator from the prequel trilogy, risked the exposure of both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker just because he could. Couldn't he just use millions of his credits to hire somebody else, a skilled bounty hunter, to go save Leia? No, he called to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, is he really Obi-Wan Kenobi? He has been Luke Skywalkered. They are doing the same thing to him as they did, to Luke Skywalker in the sequel trilogy. For a time, he basically cut himself from the Force. He didn't want to use the Force. He didn't want to use his lightsaber. He didn't practice his skills in the Force or lightsaber. He became weak. He became a depressed, broken man. And yeah, before you start telling me, oh, the post-traumatic stress syndrome, and he was a broken man, what would you do? Yeah, people, he's an aspirational hero character. Somebody we should look up to, not a person from the real world. And there goes the connection with the grand scale, with all the other films and all the media, like books and comics. So first, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that was stated by George Lucas. After he fought the battle with Anakin, Darth Vader, on Mustafar, so he went to Tatooine and he looked after Luke. Full stop. Then A New Hope comes, and you know what happens in New Hope. Meets Luke and receives the message from Princess Leia and goes with Han and Chewie to save Princess Leia. And also, this was the first time in 20 years when he met Darth Vader. So they never met before Episode 4. But here, when you look at it, Darth Vader knows that Obi-Wan Kenobi is alive. Darth Vader meets Obi-Wan Kenobi. Darth Vader is fighting Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi is saving Leia. Why didn't she mention that in Episode 4? Because all the characters in Episode 4 in A New Hope, they are speaking as if they have never met each other. It is quite obvious there. And the story of Obi-Wan and Luke was never about Princess Leia. Why should we make Princess Leia one of the protagonists? If she is not a part of the story. She was never part of the story before, until we met her in Episode 4. Now, another thing is, do you remember the lines that Obi-Wan Kenobi uttered? This is a weapon of the Jedi Knight. Not as random or clumsy as a blaster. A weapon from a more civilized age. That was from A New Hope. And then in Revenge of the Sith, he used, because he had to, he used a blaster to kill General Grievous. And he's so uncivilized. So, didn't Obi-Wan Kenobi dislike blasters to a huge extent? Here, he's using blaster right and left and right, just shooting everybody with blasters. Very, very, careful about using lightsaber. Just ignites it once. Just really doesn't fit the character, does it? So, Obi-Wan Kenobi is out of the character. It's not Obi-Wan Kenobi. He has been Skywalkered. He has been the last Jedi. And so was the whole thing. I also mentioned in my previous review of the first episode and the second episode the killing of the Grand Inquisitor, which of course contradicts with the Rebels, because in the Rebels, he still lives, and there are more instances like that. So Disney, those nitwits, have hired the cheapest writers they could have ever hired, who knew nothing about Star Wars, who I don't think ever saw any Star Wars movie. They have surely never read any expanded universe book or comic, or have played any video games. And I'm talking about both canon, Lucasfilm, the original canon, which is now called Legends, and Disney canon, because it messes up with everything. They hired those writers who are fake, like it's a textbook example of a fake fan or a fake geek girl. Like, oh, I like the Star Wars. Do you remember the line from The Simpsons that Ralph Wiggum said? I'm a Star Wars, being dressed in a Leia outfit. That's how I picture the writers now. I'm a Star Wars. They know absolutely nothing about it. I made some notes. What else have I got there? Oh, the other points, or some more points I've got here is just might seem like a nitpicking thing. The scene when Darth Vader is being clothed or armored, and the droids are putting his armor on. Darth Vader's helmet comes in several pieces. So first you've got the collar, then you've got the mask, and then on top of the mask you put the helmet. But it doesn't look as cool, does it? Or does it? No, it does look. But Disney, for some reason, they think that it looks much better if the entire mask and the helmet are put on top of Darth Vader's head, just like that. Not being separate at all. What the hell? And of course, throughout all the 3 episodes, Obi-Wan Kenobi has to be constantly saved by somebody. All the time. One of the greatest Jedi Knights in the history. Definitely one of my favorite characters, along with Qui-Gon Jinn, Master Yoda, and Mace Windu. Just has to be saved by Uncle Owen. Has to be saved by a random Jedi. Has to be saved by a random rebel woman dressed as an Imperial officer. Has to be saved by little Leia all the time. And little Leia is so annoying. So annoying. Constantly lecturing Obi. Lecturing everybody around her. Bitching about everything. No, this is not Star Wars, my friends. This is absolutely not Star Wars. Nothing Disney is Star Wars. But this is the least Star Wars thing I have ever seen in my entire life. It contradicts everything. It destroys everything. It destroys itself within itself. The writing is lazy. The writing is very bad. There are giant plot holes within the individual episodes, in between the individual episodes, and in between the entire Disney canon. They are contradicting a billion things per an episode. And that is absolutely ridiculous. So, if Disney wants people to think that we don't like it because we are Eastern phobes and that we've got something against Riva, no, we just don't like badly written films and TV shows. I love Mace Windu. I adore Lando Calrissian. One of my favorite fictional characters of all time. Am I an Eastern phobe? No. Riva is, the actress that plays Riva is a bad actress. She's like a piece of wood. She can't play. That's an objective opinion. That's a fact and truth. But that's the least of the problems there. The biggest problem is that this show even exists. And that'll be all. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, my friends. And that'll be all. Thank you very much for watching. And this time, I'm going to say goodbye in a different way. And may the Force be with you, my friends.